We'll begin today in Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound ankle pose, lying down on your back with your knees out and your feet together. And you can do this, again, you can do this without props, but it can be really nice with props. So if you have things like pillows available, you could recline your spine onto the pillow. And then you could take extra pillows underneath the outer edges of the knees as well. I completely forgot to put my headphones in, so while you all situate yourself, I'm going to put my headphones in so you can hear me throughout class. Great idea, huh? Okay. There we go. All right, we are ready with sound. Sound is important. Okay, so recline bound angle. If you haven't already gotten into this shape, go ahead and lie back. Stretch your arms out wide. Doesn't matter if you have anything underneath the spine, but if you do, it might feel kind of nice across the front of the chest and across the front of the shoulder girdle. Soles of the feet together, knees out, wide to the side. Just take a few moments here as you lie back to relax your shoulders, relax the back of the head, the pelvis. Let your eyes close. And start to become aware of the breath. Taking an inhale through the nose. And an open mouth exhalation. Two more breaths like that. Deep breath in. Open mouth exhale. One more time. So we'll start to add on a little bit of movement with the arms, your inhale breath. Stretch the arms up and overhead so your biceps are framing the ears. In your exhale breath, your elbows bend out wide to the sides like you're making a goalpost shape. A few times like that. Inhale, stretch the arms up and overhead. Exhale, elbows out wide. And continue with your breath. Twice more. And one last time. And then you can take your arms down alongside your waist and take your time to press your way up to a seat. So we'll keep our bound angle shape, soles of the feet together and knees out wide. If you have something to sit on and that's helpful for you to sit upright, feel free to elevate the sits bones. Otherwise, just taking the palms behind you. So you're actively using your hands to press down and lift the heart, and you're actively using the outer edges of the feet to pull the knees apart. Take a deep breath in here. And a deep breath out. One more inhale.
And then on your exhale, just lean a little bit more forward. See if you can take your forearms underneath the outer edges of your knees. Okay, so you're leaning a little bit more forward, and actively press the outer edges of your knees down into your forearms while pressing your forearms into your knees. So both of the limbs, arms and legs, are actively resisting one another. Deep breath in here. Deep breath out. For 3, for 2, last one. And then release your arms, just crawl your hands forward any amount. You can passively forward fold. Let your chin draw into your chest. Let your spine round. Take some deep breath here. For 3, for 2, last one. Start to come into an upright seat. We'll take a very easy cross-legged seat. So however is easy for you to sit cross-legged. And again, you can always take something underneath your sit bones. I find it much easier to sit up tall for longer when I elevate my sit bones. Take whatever you're going to be using for your strap today, whether it's a stretchy band or a towel or a scarf, and just kind of hook your fingers into it so your palms are facing the ceiling. And if you need to make a tie in that strap, tie it so it's about shoulder width distance apart. Okay, and then we'll just kind of thumbs out, fingers facing up. That strap is tied around the palm of the hand. So this is a little bit more challenging to do if you don't have a stretchy band, but it's still valuable. All I want you to do is think about resisting the band outward. And if you actually have one of those stretchy bands, you might find some movement, and then letting the arms relax. Okay, so you're just resisting the band outward and then letting the band relax. So whether you have that stretch, that give, whether you're actually seeing movement or not, you're going to start to feel this in the front of the shoulder. And I should mention that arms are not straight, elbows are bent. Okay, so elbows are kind of resting into the side of the ribs, like you're holding a platter, like you're holding this teacup or tray. So a few times with the breath, inhale, resist away, exhale, let it relax. Inhale, resist away, exhale, let it relax. And then let that go. So I'm going to switch out my bands now so I have a little bit more space. So if you have a really short band or a really short tie, you can widen that or untie the tie. I want you to reach your arms up and overhead, fist a little bit wider than your shoulders. And then on your exhale, just like we did on our back, bend the elbows so you make this goalpost shape. And you're kind of resisting the elbows apart here. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, bend the elbows. So it's different than that shoulder floss exercise that we do where we're moving all the way out and back. You're just pulling the elbows wide. Okay, inhale up. Exhale, pull the elbows wide. Keep the elbows bent as you exhale, and then inhale, straighten. Good, a couple more times. So there's a stretch sensation, but there's also this active range of motion, right? There's this activation of the muscles. 3 more times, inhale up, exhale back and down. Last 2. Last 1. Good, so we'll set the strap off to the side. We'll come back to that later. So don't fling it too far away from you. And we'll come to hands and knees and set up for a variation of tabletop. So this variation of tabletop, you'll bring your elbows and forearms down, palms are flat, fingers are spread just like they would be for down dog. Knees are underneath your hips, and find cat and cow here. So it might be a little bit smaller range of motion, right? Like the back bend might not be as pronounced. That's okay. You're letting your chest move towards the mat, tailbones up, and then you're pressing the floor weight around the spine. Chin can relax towards the chest, head can relax between the biceps. In and out of these two movements with your breath. For 3, last 2, last 1. So as you inhale, find a neutral spine, but stay on your elbows and your forearms. Walk your feet back to forearm plank. Deep breath in here. If that's too much with the knees up, just slowly let the knees come down. You can practice forearm plank with the knees on the mat. It's still quite challenging. So knees up and down, up or down. Reach the crown of the head forward, reach the heel bones back. Deep breath in. Start to feel thighs engaged, belly engaged. And then exhale, relax the belly, relax the knees, come into Sphinx. Breathe here. In and out through the nose. Inhale, press the floor away, tuck the navel up into the spine, lift the pelvis. Maybe you're lifting your knees, forearm plank or supported forearm plank. And then walking the feet forward, lifting the hips, dolphin. So it's basically down dog on the elbows. Inhale here. Walk yourself back out, forearm plank. Inhale here. Exhale back into Sphinx. Inhale in Sphinx. Press your way up into that forearm tabletop, so knees underneath your hips. And then exhale your way back to child's pose. So for this variation of child's pose, what I'll suggest is that your knees are wide, your arms are stretched forward, bending the elbows, take the hands together like prayer pose, and then thumbs rest at the back of the neck. Once you get there, walking the elbows forward, so you're broadening across the chest and the armpits. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Take about 3 breaths there. Last 2. Last 1. Begin to re-extend your arms forward. Now we'll make our way into tabletop. Normalize your tabletop, so on your hands. On your hands, curl your toes under, press down through your hands and the ball mounds of your feet, lift and hover your knees. So we did this last week, kind of like a little bear crouch. From here, I want you to take a big breath in and a big breath out, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. We'll move in between these two shapes. We'll inhale, we'll shift forward, bending the knees until they just hover above the mat. Inhale there. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. In and out of these two shapes, breath to movement. So the breath comes first and then the movement follows. Last 3. Last 2. Last one. We'll come back to down dog. Pause in your down dog. Feel free to adjust the hands and the feet, bend the knees right and left, let the head relax. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Take your right ankle, cross it on top of your left heel or ankle, the back of the ankle. So you're cinching up your legs and you're just crossing that right ankle on top of the left heel. Keep that nice and tight, and then we'll add that movement of inhaling forward, bending the knees, just hovering the knees above the mat with the ankles crossed. In and out of that bear crouch and back to down dog with the right ankle crossed on top of the left. So you're keeping that cross. Inhale, shift forward, bending the knees, hover. Exhale, lifting the hips up and back. For 3. For 2. Last one. Uncross your right ankle. Normalize your down dog. Left ankle on top of right ankle. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Keep those ankles nice and tight. Inhale, shift forward. Bend the knees, hover the knees just above the mat. Find that bear-like crouch. Press the floor away, lift the hips up and back. Down dog with the ankles crossed. Just the second side. Inhale, shift forward. Hover the knees. Exhale, hips up and back. For 3. For 2. Last one. Uncross the ankles, normalize down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, let your head relax. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, shift forward, find high plank. So I'm going to give you the option here to do this in high plank or bring the knees to the mat and do this in tabletop. And what are we doing? We're warming up the wrist. So often I'll have you walk the hands back. So fingertips actually rotate back towards the knees. And if you're doing this in high plank, I highly recommend just doing one hand at a time. If you're doing it with your knees on the mat, you might find it easier to do both hands at a time. Okay, so wherever you are, high plank or tabletop, rotate one of those hands back around if you're doing one hand at a time and switch sides. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Both fingertips point forward. Now, if you're in high plank, highly recommend just one hand at a time, flipping one palm to face the armpit. Fingertips are pointing the feet. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Changing sides. Again, if you're in tabletop, you can be doing this two hands at a time. Opposite palm facing the armpit, fingertips pointing back towards the feet. One breath in. One breath out. Normalize your high plank. Let your knees come to the mat. Come all the way onto the belly. So letting your forehead rest, stretching your feet back behind you, tops of the feet pressing down. We'll move through some dynamic low cobra. Keep your elbows bent. Walk your wrists back underneath your elbows. Squeeze your elbows in towards your ribs. Press down through the pelvis and the tops of the feet. As you inhale, pull the heart forward and away from the mat. Exhale, release the forehead back to the mat. Inhale, press the floor away, lift the heart, lift the head. Exhale, lower. Twice more. Inhale, press the floor away. Exhale, lower. One last time. Press yourself up to tabletop, hands and knees, all the way back to child's pose. So 3 breaths in child's pose. Option to take the thumbs behind the nape of the neck, walking the elbows forward, reverse prayer hands. Last 2. Last 1. So on your inhale, make your way into downward facing dog. Settling into down dog, deep breath in. Deep breath out. 2 more breaths here. Just finding a static hold in down dog. Now we'll inhale and lift your heels up, bend the knees, slight gaze forward. Step your way up to the top of your mat. Let yourself forward fold. Be generous with your back body, bend your knees. Option to sway side to side with the torso. Option to take your opposite elbows. Or even interlace the hands behind the nape of the neck and let your elbows draw down towards the shins or the feet. 2 more breaths here in Uttanasana. And release your hands toward the floor. Take a big breath in, fingertips crawl up the shins, halfway lift. So press down through your feet to extend the spine forward. Feel your navel hug up into your spine. See that your shoulders are at least as high as your hips here. Exhale, refold. Inhale, press through the feet. Reverse uncurl the spine. We'll let the head come up very last, all the way to standing. Start to feel your hips stack over your feet, and then your shoulders over your hips, and eventually ears over shoulders. As you stand tall in Tadasana, palms face forward. Shoulders relax away from the ears. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, arms stretch out and up. Exhale, fold all the way back in. Surya Namaskar C with low lunge. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. Right knee to the mat. Press the floor away, stretch your arms forward and up, and grab your opposite elbows. Okay, so tuck your front ribs in. Deep breath in here. Deep breath out. Release the hands. Make your way to downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, extend your right leg up and back. Exhale, right foot between the hands. Left knee to the mat, Anjaneyasana. Pressing the floor away with the feet, stretch the arms forward and up, and then grab your opposite elbows. So you're bending the elbows, making this little frame of your arms. Tuck your front ribs in. Deep breath in here. Deep breath out. Release the hands. Step your left foot forward to meet your right, top of the mat. Inhaling, halfway lift. Option to take the hands together at the heart here. Exhaling, fold. Press the floor away. This time stretch the arms forward as you come all the way up to standing. Exhaling your hands to your heart, Samastiti. Breath in. Breath out. And second side, Surya Namaskar. See, inhale, arms out wide, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you fold and the hands come down, step your left foot back. Left knee to the mat. Cross the floor away, stretch the arms forward and up, grabbing your opposite elbows. So tuck the front ribs in, press the floor away with your feet. Feel that active engagement of that left quadricep, and then shift the hips down and forward. So you're keeping that active engagement. Deep breath in. And breath out, hands down. Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale, left leg, stretch it up and back. Exhale, left foot between the hands. Right knee to the mat. Press the floor away with the feet, stretch the arms forward and up, grabbing the opposite elbow. Tucking your front ribs in, engage the right quadricep. See if you can keep that engagement as you reshift the hips down and forward. Inhale here. And exhale, release the hands. Step your right foot forward to meet your left. Inhaling into Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Maybe the hands at the heart. Exhale, fold. Press down through the heel bones, stretch the arms forward, come all the way up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Surya Namaskar A with side plank. Inhale, arms out wide, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping your way into high plank. Now make it a long high plank. So take a peek at your wrists. See that they're slightly forward of the shoulders. It's a little bit longer than you would probably naturally take high plank. From here, we're rolling towards the right. Vashisthasana, side plank on the right palm, outer right foot. Choose to stack or stagger the feet. Left arm's reaching for the ceiling. Deep breath in here. Breath out, left arm sweeps overhead as the hips lift a little bit higher. One more inhale. Exhale back to high plank. Just check on the wrists, see that they're still slightly forward of the shoulders. And then we'll roll to the left. Outer edge of the left foot is the base, left palm, right arm sweeps high. You can choose to either stack or stagger the feet. It's a little bit easier, I find, to stagger the feet. So if you want to start there and then build on that, you can. As you take your next inhale, sweep that right arm overhead. Lift the hips just a tad bit higher. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Normalize, high plank. Roll the hips so they're facing the mat. Inhale, shift forward. Come all the way down to your belly. Palms alongside the floating ribs. Inhale, press the floor away. Low cobra. Or maybe up dog. Exhale your way back. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 breaths here. Inhaling. Exhaling. Last two. Last one. As you inhale, lifting the heels, slight gaze forward, stepping your way up to the top of your mat. If you're practicing a float or a hop, feel free to do that. Inhale as you arrive at the top, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, press the floor away with the heel bones, stretch your arms forward and up, come all the way to standing. Exhale your hands to your heart. Surya Namaskar A with side plank again. Inhale, arms out wide, reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, find that long, high plank. Wrists slightly forward of the shoulders. Engage the fingertips. All 10 fingertips are engaging into the mat, like you're gripping a jar. We're going to roll to the outer edge of the left foot first. Left palm is the base. Stacking or staggering the feet, right arm high. Deep breath in. On your breath out, right arm overhead. So if you can lift that right hip a little bit closer towards the ceiling. Make your way back through high plank. Pause there, reset, inhale. Exhale, right side, Vashisthasana. Stacking or staggering the feet, lifting your left arm. Left arm sweep that up and overhead. See if you can inch those left hips up a little bit higher. And then roll back through high plank. Shifting forward onto the toes, feel free to move through chaturanga if it feels accessible or appropriate. Inhale to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or low cobra. Exhaling your way back, make it into down dog. Pausing in your down dog, 3 breath cycles. Feel free to play with that exhalation. Open your mouth, sigh it out, stick out the tongue, flutter the lips, whatever you like. Good. From down dog, lift the heels up, bend the knees, slight gaze forward. Start to make our way to the top of the mat. At the top of the mat, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Okay, moving on to our flow, Surya Namaskar B with some Warrior One variations. We'll start by bending the knees, sinking the hips, and finding Utkatasana chair pose. So in your chair pose, first get this lower half of the body set. Notice the feet, heel bones are pressing down there. You can slightly wiggle the toes. So see where the weight's falling in the feet by just seeing if you can wiggle the toes, and then relax the toes, okay? And then hug your navel up into your spine. Stretch the arms forward. That's a good place to start with the arms. If it feels okay on the shoulders, you can lift the arms so that they're framing out the ears. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Now press down through your feet, stand nice and tall, reach the fingertips towards the ceiling. And exhale, we'll fold all the way in, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the palms, option to take it through a vinyasa, so stepping through plank, moving through up dog. If you like, you can also skip that flow. Traditional Surya Namaskar B has a vinyasa before and in between each Warrior One. So I'll give you those options, but know that you can modify to suit your needs, your energy level. So let's meet in down dog if you're not already there. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale with stepping the right foot forward between the hands. You're spinning the sole of the left foot to the mat, and you're reaching the arms forward and up. You're settling into warrior one. Okay, so warrior one, different than warrior two, our torso is making this effort to face forward towards the top of the mat, same as the shoulders. Hips are just like slightly adjacent off to the side, they're at an angle. With our arms, we'll take eagle arms. So your right elbow on top of your left. You can double wrap at the wrist, or you can grab your opposite shoulders. Take a big breath in, lift your elbows up. And on your exhale, see if you can get your elbows to kind of move towards that right inner thigh. You can curl your chin into your chest here. Pressing down strongly through both feet. Inhale, lift the elbows back up, lift the torso. And then exhale, elbows come down again. Twice more like that. Inhale, lift the elbows. Stay strong through the feet. Recommit to the warrior one legs. Exhale as you fold. And one more time through. And this time as you inhale, unwind the arms, stretch the fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale the hands down to the mat. Here's that option to move through vinyasa. Remember, it's just an option, not a requirement. If you need to take a break and rest in child's pose, that's always there for you. Take 3 deep breaths wherever you are. All right, second side, inhale, left foot steps between the hands. You're spinning the sole of the right foot to the mat. You're squaring the shoulders and the arms forward towards the top of the mat. That right hip or the hips are kind of adjacent towards the upper right-hand corner. Settling into your warrior one leg. Let's take eagle arms, left elbow on top of right, left on top of right. You're either wrapping at the wrist or just grabbing your opposite shoulders. Inhale, pull the forearms and the elbows away from the face. Exhale, kind of round the spine, curl the chin into the chest as you fold forward. Inhale to lift, torso and arms. Exhale to round and fold. 3 times, inhale, lifting. Exhale, folding. Twice more. One last time. All the way through. So as you breathe in and lift the torso, unwind the arms, reach up. Exhale the palms to the mat. Optional flow, optional rest. Make your way to either child's pose or down dog for 3 breaths. If you're in child's pose, meet me in down dog. From down dog, lift the heels. Slight bend in the knees as you gaze forward and make your way to the top of the mat. Top of the mat, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, set up chair, Utkatasana, bend the knees, sink the hips. Get that stable foundation first and then lift your heart. Then stretch your arms forward. And then maybe you see about biceps alongside the ears. And if that means you need to stand up a little bit more so you can kind of release the low back, that's okay. You don't have to have a super deep squat. Big breath in here. Big breath out. Press down through your feet, stand nice and tall, reach up through the hands. Exhale, fold. Adding on to our vinyasa. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands, option to take it through. Chaturanga, up dog. Any flow you like, or just meeting in down dog. So once we're in down dog, we'll inhale and step the right foot forward. Make that connection with the heel bone of the left foot. Bend your right knee, warrior one. Okay, so right elbow on top of left. Again, we're coming to eagle arms. In your eagle arms, deep breath in. And on your breath out, we're going to shift forward. You're going to spin the left heel up, so you're rotating the left hip forward. So you now moved out of warrior one and into, starting to shift into warrior three. So with the eagle arms, if possible, float the left leg up, keep that left hip pointing towards the mat. If you need to unwind the arms to have a little bit of counterbalance with the fingertips down at the mat, that's totally fine. Deep breath in wherever you are. And on your breath out, see if you can softly land back into warrior one. Bend that right knee, left foot back. Maybe you're still in eagle arms. If you are, unwind the arms, stretch the fingertips up. And exhale the hands down. Option to move through vinyasa. 3 breaths wherever you are. Okay, so we'll move through our second side from down dog. We'll inhale, stepping the left foot forward. Make the connection with the sole of the right foot as you bend your left knee, warrior one. Left elbow on top, eagle arm. Pause here for a moment, deep breath in. And on your breath out, we'll lift that right heel bone up. So you're rotating the right hip forward, leaning forward from the heart. Make your way into warrior three. Right hip moving towards the mat. Right foot floating up. And you can keep those eagle arms, or you can release fingertips to stabilize. Wherever you are, full breath in. On your breath out, we'll start to make our way back to Vira one. Soft landing with the sole of that right foot as you rebend the left knee. You still have your eagle arms. Unwind those, reach up. Exhaling, palms down. Make your way through either vinyasa or just rest in down dog. Let your breath guide your movement. Let your breath guide your action. Let your breath be your teacher. Okay, so from downward facing dog, last little bit here, flow. On our inhale, we'll stretch the right leg up and back. And on our exhale, right foot between the hands. Now walk your fingertips forward, and we'll come back through supported Vira three. So float that left leg high, straighten out through the right leg. You can stay here and work this balance, or you can move the torso towards the right shin, stretch the left leg up towards the ceiling for standing split. 2 breaths there. Now adding a little bit of movement, fingertips underneath the shoulders, use those to stabilize. Your inhale breath, you're extending your left leg back behind you. And your exhale breath, you're gonna bend both knees. Left knee is gonna tap right behind the right calf. So it's like a Shiva squat. Inhale, left leg extends, right leg extends. Exhale, bend the knees, tap the left elbow or left knee to the right calf. One more time, inhale, extend. Exhale, tap and bend the knees. So from here, now listen, this is a little tricky. Left leg's gonna come down to the mat behind your right leg. So you're kind of like in this curtsy squat. And then you're gonna set your hips down. So you're gonna land on your left hip. Right foot's crossed over the top of the left thigh. You're seated, your torso is lifted, crown of the head's growing towards the ceiling. You can either choose to straighten out the left leg here or keep that left leg bent. Okay, either way, fingertips behind your torso. Lift up through the chest, big breath in. And then exhale, lift your left arm, seated twist. We're rotating the torso towards the right. You're hooking your left elbow outside of the right thigh as you turn over your right shoulder. So it's just a seated twist. We just got into it in a little bit different way than we normally do. Big breath in here. Big breath out. Unwind, we'll counter twist, both hands off to the left. Deep inhale here. Now, as you exhale, here's a little fun transition. And you might get turned around, that's the point. You're gonna continue to walk your hands to the left so you're facing the back of your mat, turning yourself all the way around in a circle, and then make your way into down dog. You basically just crawled around your mat in a circle, or you just found your way to down dog somehow, some way, right? Fingertips forward, feet back. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, so we'll do that on the second side. If it felt weird and awkward on the first side, it might feel a little bit easier or accessible on the second side. Inhale, sweep your left leg up and back. Exhale, left foot between the hands. Okay, crawl your fingertips forward. Float your right leg up. You're either staying here in supported warrior 3, or you're dipping the torso towards that front shin, stretching the right foot towards the ceiling, and some sort of standing split for 2 breaths. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more inhale. And exhale. And then we'll add the Shiva squat. So fingertips underneath the shoulders. Your inhale is to extend both legs, right leg stretching back and up. Your exhale is to bend both knees. You're tapping your right knee to your left calf. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend and tap knee to calf. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend the knees. Give your knee a tap to the calf. Twice more. Utilize your breath. Last time, inhale, extending the legs. And now on your exhale, we'll see if we can find that soft landing transition. Right foot's kind of sweeping back behind you and out to the side. Bend both knees deeply. Set yourself down onto your right hip. And so you're landing in that foundational setup for your seated twist. You can choose to stretch your right leg forward, or you can keep the right knee bent. Either way, your left foot's crossed over the top of your right thigh. Fingertips behind you, grow nice and tall through the torso. Stretch your right arm up towards the ceiling, turning and twisting over your left hip. You can make this connection with the right elbow along the outer left thigh if you like. Deep breath in, grow tall here. Deep breath out, stay. One more inhale. Then on your exhale, we'll counter twist. So torso is going to move off to the right, both hands. Plant there. And we'll continue with our hands, crawling ourselves around in a circle until you make your way back to downward facing dog. So really, however you get to down dog, it doesn't matter, just a fun little thing to try. Breathing in down dog. Breathing out. From downward facing dog, shift forward, high plank. You can set your knees to the mat. Come to the forearms. Palms are facing the floor, fingers are spread wide, engage your 10 fingertips. Make your way back to forearm plank. Either leave your knees lifted or lower your knees for supported forearm plank. Deep breath in here. And as you breathe out, if you like, lifting the hips, walk the feet towards the elbows. Breathing in dolphin, let your head relax. You're not making an effort to let the head touch the floor. The foundation of this shape is the forearms, the elbows, the palms of the hands. If you're in dolphin, walk yourself back out to forearm plank. Lengthen through the spine, breathe in. Breathing out, hips down, belly down. Find Sphinx. Inhale in Sphinx, pulling the heart forward. Exhaling your way back to child's pose. Feel free to take that modified child's pose with the knees wide, the elbows bent and the thumbs in reverse prayer at the back of the neck. Three breaths in your child's pose. Last full breath here. And then make your way up to a comfortable seat for just a moment. I want to, talk through our peak pose, Pincha Mayurasana. As we've been practicing it for the past month, it might be something that you can just head into without any instruction, but it's always helpful to have a few different things to try because we all have such different bodies and orientations and different things click with us. So that's why I like to give you options. So I mentioned at the beginning of class, this little mini band, which I'm going to use as I demonstrate. So if you're using a strap at home, again, you want it to be shoulder width distance apart. So if you're going to tie that strap, tie it around your wrist. And then the way that you measure this is you take your arms into this little robot shape, take your thumbs to your shoulders. And now you can see that your elbows are in line with your shoulders. So this is going to keep your alignment in Pincha Mayurasana. So the past couple of weeks, I've given you that option to take your hands and interlace them to the webbing. Today, I'm going to invite you to take the palms facing the floor. So you can see, I'm not sure if you can really see that, but when I do that switch of the palms to the floor, do you see that my chest broadens and my upper back broadens? So I'm able to utilize a little bit different muscle group in my shoulder, right? So remember that exercise we did at the beginning of class, the platter pose? Really great to build that shoulder strength, interior shoulder strength. And then second thing here before I set you free, the block or the book, if you're using a book, it's about the width of the shoulders, right? So this gives you something to kind of gauge your palms at. The tendency here when we take our palms to the ground is for the elbows to wing out to the sides and the palms to get really close. What this does is collapse and pinch that interior shoulder so you're not able to broaden and utilize the full width of the chest and shoulder muscles. So that's why the props are nice, right? They keep us honest. So if you're taking this with me, I'm going to take it at the wall. In yoga sessions past, if you want to just continue to work with dolphin, you can again do that at the wall. So it's a great place to stay and work until you feel safe and comfortable coming all the way upside down. If you're going to utilize the wall, let's slide our mats towards the wall. Short edge of the mat. So for this variation, I don't get super close to the wall. I stay maybe like a foot back from the wall because I want to have a little bit more space for my feet to play. So with the strap, if you're using that, and again, you don't have to use the strap, but if you are, I want it above your wrist, lower forearms. And you're testing this when you resist outward, your elbows aren't going farther than your shoulders. Your palms are, again, facing the floor, and you have that vice-like grip like you do in down dog. And maybe you're taking that thing, whether it's a block or a book, between the hands to keep yourself honest there. Okay, so setting that up at the wall. Just start out on your hands and your knees. Okay, and then picking your hips up, you can come right into dolphin. So just pause for a few moments in dolphin, see what this feels like on the shoulders, on the spine. And then you can walk the feet forward a few more inches, perhaps. Maybe you lift up on the ball mounds of the feet, so you're stretching the heel bones up. Picking one foot up, you can bend that top leg that's lifting and see if you rock forward or maybe hop up. So maybe you take a few hops, especially if you're coming to the wall. Now, if you're coming all the way upside down, if you're already upside down, pressing the floor away with that foundation of elbows, forearms, and hands. The head not on the ground. You have all the space to move your head, so your neck can relax. Okay. If you're upside down, feel free to stay. If you're in dolphin and picking one leg up, try the other side. And if anyone needs a break, come down to child's pose. Resting for a few moments in child's pose. And if you'd like to try forearm stand another round or two, I'm going to give you a few moments to play with that. Feel free to ask any questions right now or after class. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Remember, staying in dolphin is a really great place to work the shoulder strength, the shoulder agility. Having that foundation first is invaluable. So don't discount yourself for staying there and being honest, keeping your ego in check. Wherever you are, keep lifting the hips up, keep pressing the floor away with whatever is in contact with the floor. That's how you build that strength. And when you're ready to come out, find child's pose. Take a few moments in child's pose. In this child's pose variation, you can take your arms down alongside the body. You can reach just let your hands relax there, let your elbows relax there, or you can also take the hands to the low back. I like to rest my non-dominant hand at my low back and then place my dominant hand on top of that. My palms are facing the ceiling. Just take some time here to let the forehead rest, deepen the breath, and slow everything down. Be here for 3. Last 2. Last 1. And so when you're ready, start to unroll the spine, come up to a seat. Move your feet out of the way, come to your sits bones. You can stay close to the wall if you want. You can certainly utilize that in your Shavasana for legs up the wall. Before we head there though, just lie down on your back, knees bent, feet planted. Just a few rounds of dynamic bridge, and I'll give you an option for a static back bend hold. Arms down alongside the body. See if you can tickle the backs of the heel bones with your fingertips. Feet are parallel and hip width distance apart. As you breathe in, press down, lift the hips up, stretch the arms up and overhead. As you breathe out, nice and slow, everything comes back to the mat. Try that twice more. Inhale to lift and stretch. Exhale to lower and relax. One last time. Inhaling to lift. Exhale to lower. Your option to find a static back bend of your choice. That might mean a restorative bridge. If you were utilizing a block or a book, you can slide that underneath the sacrum. You can take an active back bend, interlacing the hands underneath the lower body, walking the shoulders close into the spine, or if you have Urdhva Dhanurasana in your practice, you've set up your shoulders nicely for that shape. So coming into wheel pose might feel really nice and more accessible today. It's something you want to try. Take your time with your setups. Take your time getting into your shapes. Utilize your breath here again to guide you and make your decisions. Whatever back bend you've chosen, begin to make your way out. If you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, just be careful with your head. Tuck your chin into your chest. Let the back of your head come to the mat first. If you have something underneath your sacrum for a restorative bridge, move that out of the way. Hug your knees into your chest. Apanasana. Rock a little bit side to side. Let's take these last few moments to find a supine twist on our backs. If there's a particular twist that you really enjoy, feel free to take it. I'm simply just going to move my knees off to the left, stretch my right arm out to the right side. See if you can relax both shoulders and the back of the head on your mat. Find some stillness here, breathe. For 3. For 2. Last one. Unwind, come back through center. When you're ready, second side, knees off to the right, and whatever variation of your twist you're taking, see if you can allow the back of the left shoulder to relax, back of the head to become heavy. You take some deep, full, slow belly breaths here. Finding stillness for 3. for 2. Last one. When you're ready to unwind, make your way back through center. There's an invitation to head into your Shavasana if you're ready, unless there's any last movement you need to make or any particular setup you'd like. My invitation to take a seated meditation in place of Shavasana always stands. The purpose and the point of these last moments of class together is to find stillness in the body, and allow yourself to just watch the mind, watch and observe the thoughts. So whatever that looks like for you, heading there now. Be sure you'll be warm enough if you need extra layers of clothing. We'll have a 5-minute Shavasana or meditation. As you settle into this last shape, relax your shoulders away from your ears. And slightly tilt your chin towards your chest. Let your eyes close. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth, exhale the air out. Feel your jaw soften. Feel your back teeth part. Feel your tongue widen and rest at the bottom row of teeth. Feel the flesh around the eyes soften. All of the muscles of the face relax. from the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. The beauty of it. If all I have is now, where will I look for joy? Without hope for the future, without hope that things will change, with no hope of finding what's been lost, and no hope of restoring the past, with only the risk to crack open all that has hardened about me, what will I do with what I have? At first, this might seem scary or sad, but as a tired swimmer comes ashore, surprised to find pearls washing through his legs, I lift my tired head again and again to find all I need is right where I am. But being human, I stray and dream of lives other than my own. And soon I am busy wanting something else, somewhere else, someone else. Busy imagining something just out of reach to strive for. It leads me to say, if you are unhappy or in pain, nothing will remove these surfaces. But acceptance and a strong heart will crack them like a shell, exposing a softness that has always been, exposing a soft thing waiting to take form. It glows. I think it is the one spirit we all share. I invite you to stay in Shavasana or meditation for as long as you like. You're ready to move on with your day, gently finding movement in fingertips and toes, moving the head side to side. You're on your back, stretching your arms long and overhead. Deep breath in to the full length of the body. And from that position, rolling off to a side, fetal position. And joining me in an upright seat. Feeling your sit bones root and your spine grow tall. Pausing here for a moment and acknowledging all of the work you have done. Acknowledge how you feel. Joining the hands together at the heart and bowing the chin into the chest. The infinite wisdom of the heart. With reverence and gratitude for our practice. Using the fruits to serve our highest good. Dedicating our practice to someone we love or someone who could use healing. And together we send love and healing to all sentient beings around the world. May they be happy. May they be free. Namaste, yogis.